The Blue Jays could be very interesting very quickly.
I agree with you, Robert. Not totally in on all the package they got back yesterday for Stroman and letting some guys walk out the door.
Biagini.
Aaron Sanchez, Biagini. I would like to have seen a little bit more prospect power, but we'll see. Remains to be seen. But within their own organization, it is a great time to be a young Blue Jay. And Bo Bichette had a monster game, ripped apart Double-A, had north of an 800 OPS and stole about 15 bags down in Triple-A before his call up to the show to go along with Robert, what he was saying with Vlad Jr. and Kevin Biggio. And I got a chance. I did 30-30 this year for them. And I got a chance to kind of pick his brain and try and understand what he's doing in the box. So, Rich, can we run that?
My first year in the minors, I trusted myself a lot. No matter how hard the guy was throwing, I trust myself to let it get deep. See the ball as long as I can. Trust my bat path. And last year, I thought I got away from that a little bit. So that was a huge focus for me this offseason.
All right, pause it real quick. You know what I take from that? I take super confident kid. Doesn't care about the game in north-south, high velocity. He trusts his hands. He wants to let the ball get deep. He doesn't want to cheat to anything. And he is a confident guy, and rightfully so. So I just want to make a few observations of what I look for and things I see. I always try and check out how guys hold the bat. Everybody's different. I played with Julio Franco, who didn't even have his pinky finger on the bat. He was third finger on the bottom of the bat. I hung my hands off the bottom of it as well. Same with him. I always try and see if we got a little Jason Hayward, if we're wrapping the bat or choking it with the top hand. And I want to run this in real quick because he does have a little bit of top hand wrap. No one does it more than Alex Bregman. And what does that do? Pause this for me. You see a lot of guys, if you're checking out Bo Bichette tonight, if you're checking out Bregman, even Altuve, a lot of play with their hands, and I almost feel like they set their hands into a certain position to be able to drop it on plane and to create massive pop. Okay, run it. He's got the toe up. What I love about Bo Bichette is with no strikes and with one strike, he is trying to do exactly that. He is trying to go deep in Kaufman, in the gap. That's a hanging slider. Let's rack in. Hold that for a second. That's spot on. That's 2015 AL MVP in a Toronto Blue Jay uniform. And we talk about different ways to get. For me, the most important thing, if you're going to hit with 0 and 1 strike, is you want to get in your most powerful position to drive the baseball, okay? And all of that can happen, whether it be a toe tap, which he'll modify. He'll go to a modified toe tap with 2 strikes to take a little bit out of the equation and see the ball a little bit better and be a little shorter. Josh Donaldson, same thing, getting to his most powerful position. But that being said, you see a lot of movement and a lot of moving parts in Bo Bichette's swing, but the head never moves. The head never moves. He stays tall, and for what we would consider in today's game a little smaller in stature, he gets the most out of it by generating the most power. The weight's on the inside of the back knee. You see he almost cockeyes his back foot a little bit to put even more pressure on the inside of the back knee. So run this. Get Josh Johnson out of there. Bang. And let it eat. Another thing I notice about Bo Bichette, you talk about clearing your front side. Almost looks like he steps in the bucket. Rack that back one time for me. Talk about clearing your hips. Now run it. Run the leg kick. He almost takes his knee and swings it out to clear his front side and generate even more power, which could leave him susceptible to some stuff to the opposite field. But he's staring right at you. There's a lot of guys that try and hit and stay almost in this position right here. He's presenting everything to you, a la kind of Chris Davis out in Oakland. Run it. When I watch him, just a confident guy. Obviously, he's not Javi Baez yet. Who knows if he becomes that, but a guy with a lot of moving parts. A guy who gets his full A-game hack off. But you know what? there's a method to the madness. There's not a lot of movement up top. The head stays still. This guy's been a beast. He was the talk of Dunedin in spring training. Not Vlad Jr., not Marcus Stroman, not Aaron Sanchez. It was this guy when we walked in the door that everyone was talking about, and he's come up and put bat to ball repetitively. So big things coming for the Toronto Blue Jays and Bo Bichette, Roflo.